Welcome to the Permission Slip podcast, where I, empowerment coach, mindset expert, and holistic nutritionist Carmen share with you the tools, conversations, and resources you need to write your own permission slip, take massive action, and become obsessed with your own life. Let's get started. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Permission Slip podcast. This week, we are talking all about coaching. What is holistic life coaching? What is the opportunity? What are some key traits of a great coach? Some things you want to make sure and prepare before you start coaching, and a few takeaways and things that I wish I would have known or learned prior to starting my coaching practice. So this is for you if you have an existing coaching practice, if you're interested in becoming a coach, or you're just a human. Now, why do I say that? Because in all aspects of life, we have an opportunity to be a mentor, to be a coach, to be a teacher to someone else, to hold space and show them what's possible and help push them into action towards their big dreams and goals, whether that be a coworker, a family member, our children, a best friend, a cousin, a stranger on the street, whoever it might be. We all have an opportunity to be a coach at one point or another. So don't just turn this off and say, this is not for me. If you're like, I'm not a coach, and hey, you never know. You might want to join us in a Flow Academy in September and become a holistic life coach by the time you finish listening to this podcast. So let's dive right in. What is the need here? So every year there's billions and billions of dollars spent on books and training programs and education in pursuit of progress, in pursuit of growth. But the truth is, most people never finish the books or complete the programs, or if they have completed it or read the books, most of it is never applied. And we live in this great sea of unfulfilled potential. Now, the reason people don't follow through on changes or go for their dreams isn't because they don't have resources available, and it's not because they don't have the time or even the desire, and it isn't because what people say about them. It's often because life happens. Overwhelm happens, doubt happens, fear happens, and distractions happen. Our ego self kicks in really hard anytime we're trying to do something new that takes us out of that safety and comfort zone. So that's why everybody needs accountability and encouragement, but not everybody has that good support system. The truth is, change is freaking hard. And the truth is that big goals take big commitments. Doing something new or scary is always better and more likely to happen when you have someone walking with you on your journey, supporting you, calling you on your BS, holding you accountable, and encouraging you. And no matter how inspired we are by our old patterns and our comforts, those will quickly zap our energy, fade our drive. And so a life coach really helps you dream big and stretch your visions to create a huge, compelling dream for your life, and then help you make a course to get there and build a plan and a strategy, and then hold you accountable to holding yourself to higher standards for your life and reminding you of why you're doing it all. Doesn't that sound beautiful? I know. I feel like we all, I do. I think that we all need a life coach. I think that we all need a coach. That's why every year, I know for myself, I hire coaches. I become a part of a mastermind. I hire people to mentor me, primarily because I know the power in coaching. I know that it's going to be the thing that's going to get me from where I'm at today to where I want to be. Curiosity and courage and clarity and my own confidence can get me so far. But if I want to get further, I know that doing it with a coach is really what's going to take me there. The next coach I'm hiring over the next month is a book coach. And I'm super excited about this because that is going to be the thing that's going to take me to the next level with my book. And yeah, I just can't wait. So to further let you know, what does a holistic life coach help you with? Helps you with dreaming big, expanding what you ever thought was possible, holding you accountable by co-creating a higher standard, and then helping you hold yourself to it, finding meaning in your life, especially during challenging times. I know one of the most difficult times that I coached a client through was her husband was passing away from a terminal illness. And that was so challenging on her mentally and emotionally, and they had a family. And so finding meaning in life and finding joy in life, even when challenging things are happening, is a part of being a life coach. Also, keeping your ego in check. So fear, doubt, and negative thought loops, keeping that in check so you can keep moving forward and taking action, because life is always going to meet you at your point of action. And oftentimes without the coaching, without the accountability, we're going to be stuck in overthinking about it, or stuck in thinking that we need to learn something more or different or get another certification when we don't really need that. A coach is a support system, and a coach is an expert with proven strategies, tips, tools, and resources, and even one that can show you shortcuts by using their own success. So that is what a coach is and why we all need them, and how it can be beneficial for you to be a coach in someone else's life. And you know what? Now is really the best time to become a coach. And in fact, the future is only going to get better and better for coaching. Today, the life coaching field is a $2 billion industry with a 5.5% yearly growth, according to Forbes. And the top earners who make multi-six figures, sometimes even seven figures in coaching, have found to have one thing in common, and they focus on a specific market or niche. And this is something we talk a lot about in Flow Academy. So we have Flow Academy graduates that specialize in coaching around real estate and around HR and around nervous system reset, around human design, around entrepreneurs that are also mothers, around body love. There are so many different types of coaches that have graduated from Flow Academy. They take the best tools, tips, strategies, and resources and coaching techniques that they learn, and then they make it their own based on their own unique set of gifts and experiences, which is so, so beautiful. And so as you develop your practice, you should look at how you fit in the coaching space and what specific outcome you want to create and what population you want to serve. I always say, if you can look at who you were, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 3 years ago, 15 years ago, and speak to that person, you're going to be able to connect with them on a deeper, more impactful level, because you were them. So that's who I speak to right now. So I speak to executives, entrepreneurs, leaders, and coaches, because that's who I was for 16 years. I had a corporate leadership career. And I speak to those ones that are ambitious go-getters, that are health focused, that want to get to the next level, and they feel like they're doing it all, but they just can't break through. They're at that upper limit, and I help them break through that glass ceiling. I know that if I would have had that in my life, things might have changed for me. Maybe I wouldn't be in this role. I don't know. Who knows? But I'm so happy that I'm here, and it's a blessing to wake up and impact the lives of so many women, further reaching the goal of impacting the lives of 100,000 women, to show them there's a different way to be, a different way to live, think, act, and design and live a life that they truly love, so they could be the one to show the world how great life truly is. And that's really my mission and my vision. So let's talk a little bit about the 3 traits of what make a great coach. The first one is a great coach does their own work, so otherwise known as self-work. When you do this, you can coach from a place of confidence and clarity and experience. So you do your own work. The second thing is that they've mastered effective yet simple coaching tools and skills that they then can clearly communicate with their clients and match with their clients' needs and strengths. This is really important because you want to have a full resource tool bag of things, practices, resources, tools, tips that you can implement and put into action, help your clients put it into action in their lives for them to get curious about and try out in their life, so they can shift, grow, or change in the way that they really want to. And then the third thing is a trait of a great coach is that they're heart-centered. They lead with their heart and they genuinely love their clients from a place of non-dualistic thinking and high integrity. So basically what that means is it's not that my way is the right way. Non-dualistic means that we are open to receive new thoughts, new possibilities, new perceptions. A Course in Miracles defines a miracle as a shift in your perception. So you're open to new perceptions. You're not just holding so tightly onto one thing. And this is huge. And then of course, high integrity, right? And open-heartedness. This is something that makes a great coach. And at times in my past, I've worked with coaches and joined some masterminds that maybe weren't of the highest integrity or didn't have the matching open-heartedness like I did. And you know what? I don't think negatively on that. I definitely learned something from that. And I learned today what I coach and what I teach in Flow Academy is of the utmost high integrity and making sure that we do have that heart-centered focus is really, really huge. So now a few tips in preparation prior to really starting an effective coaching practice. And if you already have a coaching practice or you're a leader, entrepreneur of some sort where you're leading people, think about these things and maybe revisit them and see how you can revamp them to make them even more effective. You know, this year, God's been really telling me to take less off my plate because he really wants me to be in the creative work and in the teaching work. And so one thing that it has enabled me to do is really double down on making sure that my practices, making sure that my coaching, making sure that my teaching and my speaking and my writing is exceptional. So just because I've been doing this for over a decade doesn't mean that I'm not always learning and there's not a way to get better. So I want you to hear that there's always an opportunity to get better. One of our students in Flow Academy, what did she say? Like her motto is always like, do the best you can until you learn different and then do better. And I love that. I think that's what it's all about. I think about that. Everything in life should be like that. Okay. So 3 preparations prior to really, really effective coaching is to practice. So the best person you can practice on is yourself, and then practice on other people in safe spaces. Make sure you're using the journal prompts and the meditations and cleaning up your side of the street and practicing empathy, that you're doing the work for yourself in your life, because when you do the work for yourself in your life, it automatically builds a resume for you of coaching because you have the experience. You can step in as the expert that you know that you are when you do the work yourself. One of the most amazing things, and something that I didn't have in my initial life coaching training, was live practice sessions where I had a teacher watching me coach an individual, an actual human with actual problems, and then giving me feedback. It was a written type thing where they would just give feedback and not actually watching my coaching practices. And so one of the things that we implemented within Flow Academy is, in order to graduate with your holistic life coaching certification, is you have practice hours where you practice coaching and you receive feedback and you've gotten better. Not only does this make you an effective coach, but it builds your confidence. So when you go out and step out in your coaching business, you can charge what you're energetically aligned with right away, instead of feeling like, I don't know, should I be doing this? Like, you are confident and you are ready to go, which is so awesome. If you want more info on Flow Academy, our next enrollment starts in September. Click the link in the show notes, and you can be the first to know to have access to exclusive bonuses and discounts when you sign up right away. The second thing is you want to use and know your tools. So study them, try this out, put them into your personal toolkit to use with your clients. So oftentimes in Flow Academy, what will happen is I'll teach a tool or resource, and then the students will take it and they'll try it out, and then they'll tweak it and make it their own. Sometimes they use it exactly the same, which is totally fine to do with any of the information from Flow Academy. But having your tool bag, so you know if someone's having an issue with self-sabotage, with relationships, with their physical health, with with anything that you have a tool or a resource or a practice that you can match them with, so you can be that effective holistic coach for them, because we're not just coaching to one thing, we're coaching holistically to the whole person. And then the third thing is getting clear and getting grounded. So this means to clear your mind of any judgments or expectations prior to the session, in addition to any of your own mental clutter or stuff that you have going on. I always like to say a prayer, do some deep breathing or a quick meditation practice before any of my calls or any of my coaching sessions. And this really clears the way to God to really move through me and for me to be super connected with my clients. Many of my clients, when I do this, I'm able to get information, to write it down as I'm prepping for the call. And sometimes I'll get this guidance and I'm like, oh, I don't really know where that's coming from, but okay. And I make a note of it. And as the call continues, it's something new that they are challenged by, that I'm like, this is great. We're divinely connected. Or I might pull a card for them and it's something that matches up exactly with what we're talking about. And if you can get grounded in the moment and get real clear and be prepped before your call, you can have that supernatural connection to your client, and it's just going to make it even more effective for the coaching call. Okay, now as we wrap this up, and I want to hear from you. So if you're thinking about being a holistic life coach, shoot me the word life coach. And I just want to have a chat with you to see where you're at with things, maybe what the next steps are. I have a little PDF that I can send you on steps to get going and some tips and things like that. I want to be here as a resource for you. Or if you're already a coach or a leader, and this is speaking to you too, because leaders and entrepreneurs, you need this as much as just a traditional life coach does too, because this is how, for you personally, you're going to learn the tools and skills personally, so that you can show up with your team, so that you can show up confidently with your own clients in whatever industry that you're in, and do it with excellence, right? And really up level everything that you're doing. That's what we teach in Flow Academy. So the couple of things that I wish I would have known prior to starting my coaching business is this idea of always remembering the old. And old is actually an acronym, so I'm going to break it down for you. The O is own it, the L is learn from it, and the D is don't repeat it. Now, of course, I want to add with grace and compassion, right? So anytime something happens in your business that maybe you didn't plan for, was unexpected, or traditionally would be thought of as a failure or not reaching a goal, I want you to remember that it's just information. It doesn't mean anything about you or about your worth. And remember this, Carmen told me old, so I need to own it. What parts maybe did I drop the ball on? Where could we do better? What could that look like? What could we change? What could we let go of? Am I trying to do too much? Am I not doing the steps as outlined? What am I learning from it? And then how can I not repeat this in the future? So what do I need to do to make sure it's effective in the future? So again, hear me out. It's just old. You need to own it, learn from it, and don't repeat it. And remember, it's just information. It doesn't mean anything about you or your worth. The next thing is showing up is not enough. Taking a pause here. I want you to really hear this. Showing up is not enough. So for years and years in my business, I was showing up, and I was showing up consistently. I was showing up consistently on social media and in my newsletters. I was showing up in person. I was showing up. But what I wasn't showing up with was the full confidence and belief that something even bigger could happen for me if I invested a little bit more in strategy, if I invested a little bit more in the areas that I was lacking, if I invested a little bit more in launch, and if I invested in myself and asked for help. Because showing up, yeah, that could build some of your audience, that could build your email list a little bit. But without having a plan or a strategy and being very specific, oftentimes when we're showing up, we're speaking to everyone instead of speaking to our specific ideal audience. And so when you're talking to everyone, you're pretty much talking to nobody. So showing up is not enough. Have a plan, have a strategy, and focus in on it. Don't focus on being everything for everyone. Speak to your target customer and show up with joy and fun, and have a strategy and implement it and focus on it. Do the work that you don't really feel like doing, because that energy of I don't feel like it is always going to present itself. But once you get going and get started with it, then you'll get in flow and it'll become easier and easier. And then you'll see how doing more than just showing up is what you actually need to be doing. And it makes a huge difference, not only for your business revenue, but for the impact that you can make in the lives of others, the confidence that you feel inside, and just your overall happiness and joy. And then the last thing is build your circle. So if you want to build your business, do it alone. If you want to build it quickly, do it with a community. So a few different circles that I say that you should have is your personal circle, your inner circle. These are your people. These are the ones that you go to. These are the ones that you talk to often. This is your best friend. This is your sister. This is your business bestie. These are your people that you go to. And then you have your network. So you have your network of collaborations and business friends and entrepreneurs and resources that you can tap into if you need to ask for help, if you need a resource. This is your network. And then you build your community. So a community of people that love your work, that become brand advocates, that can sell what you're doing without you even asking, because they are so invested in it and you've spent the time to make a difference in the lives of others. So build your circle. Make sure you have a strong inner circle for that support and that accountability. Make sure you have your network, because that's where you can, it can really be the catalyst to your growth, to having this network and these resources and these people that can connect you to the people, places, things, and opportunities that you wouldn't otherwise be connected to. And then make sure you're building your community and giving so much before you do your ask. And then giving some more before your next ask, and show them, get them to engage with each other and build that support system. So those were the things that I wish that I would have known and done from day one. I would say I did them, but I did them half-assed, and I didn't go all in on the things that mattered the most. I was looking at what everybody else was doing and jumping around. Oh, maybe I should try this. Maybe I should launch this. Maybe I should do this, instead of just maintaining focus on the thing that I knew that was my gift, and then creating the community and doing more than just showing up around that thing, which made the biggest difference, from having like $5,000 launches to having like $60,000 launches. It makes a difference when you focus in and you truly go for it and have the belief and faith that it's meant for you, and that when you're using your gifts, that God is going to bless you over and over and over again. And you just have to release control, but show up and do the work every single day to get there, and you'll get there. So those are my tips on coaching, on what holistic life coaching is, traits of a great coach, some preparations to make sure and do before you start your coaching calls, and a few things I wish I would have known before I started my coaching business. So I want to hear from you. If you're interested in learning more about life coaching, DM me life coach, and I'll reach out. We'll have a personal conversation about that. Or if you know someone, a leader, entrepreneur, or coach that maybe this episode would help them, I would be so grateful if you would text it to them. And if you haven't already, or maybe haven't in a while, hop on over to the iTunes app, give a 5-star rating, leave a quick 2-sentence review, and I would be so appreciative. So until next week, get out there and shine bright. Today, I feel like we're all golden, right? We're all dripping in gold. So get out there and shine and share your love with the world.